Did you know? River Monsters is the hit Animal Planet show that follows adventurer and extreme angler Jeremy Wade all over the globe in his search for the rarest and most terrifying freshwater fish in existence. Where other nature-based reality shows are clearly staged, River Monsters is regarded as one of the most authentic, thanks to Wade's obvious passion and thorough knowledge of the creatures in the murky waters of rivers, lakes, and ponds. Here's a look at how the show came to be and some interesting facts behind the fishing show that is somehow not a colossal bore. This is the untold truth of River Monsters. What started as a childhood hobby turned into a lifelong passion for Wade. After learning from a friend, he started fishing the local waterways of his rural English hometown. But the hobby became too popular, so Wade took a 3-month trip to India, the first of his international fishing excursions. According to Singular City, after the India trip, Wade longed to explore other remote areas for fish, which led to a life of simple living and odd jobs he'd do until he'd saved just enough for his next trip. Wade nearly died from malaria during one disastrous trip to the Congo, yet he returned to the remote African country multiple times. Eventually, he started making a little money writing for fishing magazines, but his singular purpose in life seems to be simply to travel, discover, and fish. You do get addicted to that kind of life, he mused. Opening yourself up and being vulnerable to the forces of nature and whatever else is out there. Wade often talks about his favorite catch being the Goliath tigerish, a kind of giant piranha only found in the Congo that can weigh over 100 pounds. According to an interview with The Telegraph, he traveled to the African jungle 3 times over 6 years. This was pre-River Monsters, before catching a medium-sized one. But of course, that wouldn't do for a guy who's accustomed to having his photo taken with giant nightmare fish. In the second season, the show returned to the Congo despite Wade's admission that traveling there is very tiring and potentially dangerous. Nonetheless, they ended up hooking a 78-pounder, which Wade described as the big one I had been after for almost 25 years. Wade had said that he never expected the show to become so huge when River Monsters started. I was never thinking about a series that goes on for 4 seasons or more, he told Singular City. In fact, he's said that the first 2 seasons were based on his previous 25 years of individual travel and study, leaving a huge question mark as to how they were going to proceed after that. But the show went on for 7 more seasons, even dipping into more sensational waters with its Chernobyl and Loch Ness Monster episodes. So, instead of writing it out until low ratings or lack of ideas forced it off the air, Wade and his team decided to hang it up once they felt they'd wrangled every river monster out there. Some shows can run forever, but our subject matter is finite, he wrote in a press release announcing the show's end. 10 years ago, I had a list in my head, which seemed impossibly ambitious at the time, but everything has now been ticked off and then some.